Have you been listening to this show for a while? Do you like this show? Do you want to see it continue? There's one way you can do that. You can actually visit our Patreon page and donate some money to make sure the show continues. That's the only way we fund the show, the only way we make it happen. Go to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns, find out bonus stuff you can get for supporting us, and make sure the show keeps on trucking. It is such a great Star War.
It's such a good Star War. I can't wait for everybody to see this Star War. Oh, man. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Cannata.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
Children, Anthony.
Ugh.
What's to be done about them?
Throw them into the sea. Wait. It has been explained to me why we can't throw children into the sea. Not legally or morally, but just in terms of the continuation of the species. It has been explained to me that we cannot throw children into the sea.
Because we need the sea?
Because we need the sea. For future generation. For us.
For current generation.
For the current generation.
We need sea.
We need the sea.
You can't just litter the sea with children.
Listen, if the world is going to last as long as humanity, which is another 50, 60 years, because throw the children away.
Yeah.
We can't throw the children into the sea. The only thing we can do is launch the children into space.
Oh, space is the sea of the sky.
But the problem with that is it's irresponsible to launch the children in any direction we think may be inhabited by other cool adults who don't need this fucking children thing.
Because then it's like, what's this on my doorstep?
Because then it's like, oh, now I'm taking care of these children.
I'm not here to take care of your jettisoned children.
Oh, we just jettisoned our own children.
It works out like a child swap.
That's the great filter. That's the Drake equation right there. The great filter is listen, everybody just gets tired of kids. And we just and they throw them into whatever sea or sky they have. And then that's the end of intelligent people.
Yeah, it always happens that way.
Yeah.
As a father of a 1-year-old myself, this is a particular...
You're going to throw them into the sea?
Well, we're considering options.
We're thinking about it. Yeah. A private sea. A Montessori sea.
A Montessori sea. A sea at his own pace, really, is what it is. The idea of children and keeping them focused and on task and motivated, it's a daily struggle for a fella such as me.
Sure. I believe that. I was never a focused child.
No.
I'm barely a focused adult.
Well, that's clear. This is a story that was sent to us by Tefofum?
Okay.
Tefofum?
Yeah.
This was on the subreddit.
Apologies. That's what we're going to say.
Yeah.
Apologies. Because that wasn't it.
Tefofum?
Sorry.
I'm just going to keep saying it. Okay. This is a story about a study about this very issue, about keeping children on task and focused. Young children. We're talking children who are 4 to 6 years old.
Okay.
Where they're most, I would say, demon-like.
But also, I think they're coolest.
They're 4. I haven't gotten to 4 yet with my kid, but I anticipate some cool happening.
4 is real dope. When I was teaching preschool, I had 4-year-olds. And the 4-year-olds are dope, man. 4-year-olds are conversational. Yeah. They get things. They understand jokes and humor.
But they're not self-aware enough to have any shame or,
Oh, they're dummies.
Yeah.
They're dummies, but they're the best kind of dummies.
It's awesome.
Yeah, 4 to 6 is good.
They're just open and accessible and honest.
Yeah.
To a fault. Yeah.
It's fun.
They say the darndest things is what I'm understanding.
These kids.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the darndest things come out of their mouths.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of those darndest things are not keeping them focused. And maybe there's a subtext to let's keep these kids working. Maybe we got to keep them in the coal mine. I don't know. But
yeah, certainly what we need in today's society is to be more rigid with the children. Yeah, that's what I think. I think we should just definitely. I mean, we're waiting until sometimes the age of 5 to get real fucking rigid with children. We need to back that up.
So this is a study about trying to help them resist distraction.
Put them in a cubicle at the age of 3 is what I say.
Yeah, keep them on task.
Fucking kids.
And what they found was psychologists in this report that was published in the journal Child Development.
Mm-hmm.
That between 4 to 6 year olds that they studied, they were able to get a huge improvement in their ability to resist distraction, stay more focused, and stay on task, even when the task was extremely boring, when they told them one very simple thing. 4 to 6-year-olds, they said,
I will throw you into the sea.
If you don't do it right,
you will live in the ocean amongst the waves.
Also, the whip will continue to crack your skin. No, they told them, pretend to be Batman. Just do this. We're going to do this, but you're Batman. You're Batman.
My first answer is Batman wouldn't do this. My first answer is Batman wouldn't waste his time with this garbage.
You broke our study.
I broke the study. I'm the smartest 4-year-old. I am smarter
You're the fucking Joker of 4-year-olds.
Oh, I'm smarter than every 4-year-old. Every single 4-year-old. Bring a 4-year-old that's smarter than me. I dare you.
Yeah.
I dare you.
And if they are, then you could physically dominate them.
Yeah.
So one way or the other, right?
There is
one way or the other.
There is no 4-year-old who will not bend under my iron thumb. Why a Batman?
Well, that's the crazy part of this whole study is they came to this, they did it, they found statistics that we'll get to about how it worked really, really well. They don't know why. So they don't know why it works because they had them do Batman, Bob the Builder, Rapunzel, and Dora the Explorer. Dora the Explorer, right? It's not Explorer.
Dora the Explorer.
Dora the Explorer.
Well, here's why, Jeff.
And Batman is the one that worked.
I'll tell you why Batman's the one that worked. Bob the Builder and Dora the Explorer are very friendly and garrulous, and they ask a lot of questions, and they're all about kind of having fun and doing things with friends, right?
Right.
Batman is about seriously getting shit done at the best any human can get it done.
I guess.
That's what it is. And that comes through. Kids understand that. Kids get that Batman is very serious and very skilled. That's it.
It said across age groups.
Superman wouldn't work either.
Right. Across age groups and apparently unrelated to their personal scores on mental control, memory, or empathy, those in the Batman condition, which is awesome.
The Batman condition.
My awesome cover band of dark goth tunes. The Batman condition.
The Batman condition. I love that.
We do a lot of Danny Elfman covers.
Sure.
Those that were in the Batman condition spent the most time on task, about 55% for 6-year-olds and 32% for 4-year-olds. And the other kids the kids that were just told to do it without imagining they were any character, spent the least time on task, 35% for 6-year-olds and 20% for 4-year-olds.
I wish more kids knew about Green Lantern.
You think Green Lantern would outperform Batman?
I don't know. Green Lantern's able to conjure things, and that's distracting to a child.
Right.
But the idea of the willpower, Green Lantern's all about willpower and focus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can really explain that to a kid.
That's a little, it's a little high concept.
Batman is serious. That's what they know.
Batman is serious. Batman
he sits at the computer and he gets it done.
Yeah.
And if he's not sitting at a computer getting it done, he's chopping people in the throat and getting it done. Did these kids get more violent?
They didn't say anything about that.
Did they get less social? I mean, they had to have gotten less social.
They here's what they did. First of all, they asked the children to only speak of themselves as Batman. So they said they had them say, "Am I working hard? Is James working hard?" If their name was James or their actual name, or is Batman working hard? And like they're Batman.
Yeah.
And the ones who only refer to themselves in the third person as Batman were the ones that did the best. And they gave them capes, which I think is
important.
The real most important part. They gave them capes.
Without a cape, you're not Batman, you're Bruce Wayne.
Exactly. So
and everybody knows it.
The prop, they said, was the key. Like the kid had to not just be told to like do it as Batman. They're like, here, you're Batman. Here's your cape. Now you're Batman. Now mine the coal.
Jeff, let's talk about
for our society. Mine the coal for the community because we're all going to die if Batman doesn't mine the coal.
Like that episode where Batman, like that episode of the animated series where Batman gets conked on the head and thinks he's Matches Malone and he has to work in that secret worker camp. Do you remember that episode of the animated series?
No.
Yeah, it was a good one. Bruce
sounds
Wayne,
like a good one.
dresses as a homeless guy to find out why the homeless in Gotham are disappearing. But then he gets knocked on the head and he gets amnesia and he's in this homeless person working camp and he doesn't know he's Batman. How's he going to get out?
He has to imagine he's Batman.
Somebody has to imagine that they're Batman.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
There has to be at least one person imagining they're Batman or else we don't have a Batman.
That's true.
So the results suggest that pretending to be a popular fictional character helps young children to resist distraction, at least compared to other conditions used in this experiment. But they say the particularities of Batman as outperforming all the other characters, they don't know like what the specific reason for that is.
These nerds never saw Batman.
That's the thing. They don't know enough about Batman, maybe.
Come on, it's obvious.
It said maybe it simply made the boring task more fun. Maybe they identified with this fictional character more than many of the others. It's like, no, it's because Batman don't take no shit.
Listen up, nerdlinger.
Batman stays on task.
Batman does everything.
Like fun.
He knows how to do everything and he knows how to do it better than anyone else and he's not going to stop until it's done.
And he hates having a good time or not being focused.
But he does love putting children in the line of fire. And I wonder if this made those children more cavalier about the safety of the other children.
Well, the biggest problem they had was the 2-hour talk that led into it where they had to explain to the children that their parents had been murdered in a horrible alley attack.
Kids, I want you to imagine that your parents are dead. Your parents are definitely dead. And they've left you all alone in the world with only Michael Caine. Well, it could be Michael Caine. Could be Jeremy Irons. I don't know. Which do you prefer?
I mean, I don't know who those people are. Why are my parents dead?
I'd say the worst Michael Caine's got going for him is probably that Austin Powers, but the worst Jeremy Irons has going for him is Dungeons and Dragons. Does that help you at all?
I don't know who they are.
Okay. Well, Michael Caine, I mean, they're both British character actors. Anyway, your parents are dead.
My parents are dead.
And I need you to focus on whether you want Michael Caine or Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, listen, kid. At least Michael Caine says, "Good night, you princes of New York, you whatever the fuck." Why are you cursing at me?
I don't even like the original Get Carter. I kind of like the new Get Carter. Shut up, kid. You're 4 years old and you're dumb and you don't know what's good. Look, I love the idea of a bunch of little
liaisons.
I love the idea of a bunch of little 4-year-olds just walking around making the voice and doing the thing. Because a 4-year-old doing Batman just sounds like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I'm Batman. I'm Batman. I'm Batman. Yeah, so they don't know if it was like, it's fun to wear a cape so you'll do the thing longer, or if they literally like internalized the idea of the Batman mythos and tried to act out in a way. But it really was a form of brainwashing because they like wouldn't let them refer to themselves as their own name. They had to talk about themselves as Batman.
This is the 4-year-old version of all of the weird cognitive psychology things that we have been hearing about the adult mind, right? This is like, if you have to work from home, get up in the morning, get dressed, and don't just get dressed, get dressed for work.
Wear the costume of a worker.
Wear a cape just like a worker would.
Yeah, a cowl if you have one.
And then, always like think about it's the Michael Jordan thing. Close your eyes and visualize the dunk. If you can see the dunk, you can do it.
Dunk like Batman.
Dunk like Batman would on Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Oh man. That poster would sell like hotcakes. I'm just saying.
Just the art of the dunk, but with Batman just getting fucking faced.
Oh, dude, how do we not? We need to call JP and have him make the Jordan Nike logo with the legs apart, but it's Batman and the cape behind him.
That exists.
You think?
Oh, that sounds internet as hell. That exists.
We got to find that.
We got to find it.
Because I want that.
Batman would have found it by now.
Batman would. I just can't stay on task.
But I love, if you ask me to think of myself like Batman, I immediately, like when I'm doing sort of the mental exercise of going through my day, I can tell you immediately something already changed. I'm picturing myself with my to-do list, and I'm picturing it
now it's a bat to-do list?
Now it's a bat to-do list, and it's also shark repellent. But I immediately see myself not listing things and then not doing them. You know how you know how sometimes you list things off on your to-do list and you look down the list and you're like, not that one right now, not that one. I'll do this one.
Right. That's not what Batman would do.
Batman goes down the list in order.
Yeah.
And that's what I just saw myself doing in my head.
Yeah.
That's immediately a change.
Right now.
Also, I'm seeing myself being very cold and removed to my loved ones.
Right.
Which is very different because I'm cold, but I'm not removed. I'm in their face all the time.
Are we richer in this situation?
Yeah, because that's sort of living the secret, right? If you think that you're Batman.
If you think you're Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, then immediately riches come to you.
What would you say right now?
I'd say I'm Batman.
Which DC character are you most like now?
In my day-to-day life?
Just your day-to-day.
Ooh. Like the Blue Beetle or Booster Gold.
Probably Booster Gold, right?
I'm probably probably Blue Beetle.
Just
but
looking
like
to be recognized as much as possible.
80s or 90s Blue Beetle or Booster Gold, where it's like, yeah, you could be Batman. You're basically Batman, but like Batman if he was lazy and made bad decisions and was kind of like into himself a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's Ted Kord. That's me.
Yeah.
Or Booster Gold, which is just like, hello. I'm
not from this time.
I'm not from this time, and I'm fucking great. Listen, y'all don't know it yet, but I'm dope as hell. Yeah,
that's what's so great about this experiment on adults is you have such a deeper reservoir of lore to choose from. You know, kids, they only know like 6 characters.
Yeah.
Adults, you could get real deep.
I'm
man.
definitely like a Justice League Western. I'm definitely like a yeah. It's
I'm
either
more like a swamp thing.
Yeah, I'm more like an elemental. It's definitely Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, or like 80s Mr. Miracle.
Oh,
like the kind of arrogant, stupid, like idiotic, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like silly all the time. Yeah. I'm definitely
like Dr. Fate. I'm just aloof and mysterious all the time.
Negative. You're Plastic Man.
I am totally Plastic
You
Man.
are 100% Plastic Man.
Oh, nailed it in one, Anthony. Nailed it in one. Because I got a baby Plas with me too.
You do. You're like this family man, and you're like doing it in Hollywood, but like you're just like a nice guy, but you're a little goofy.
Oh, you nailed it.
You're Plastic Man.
And I love having my shirt open like 3 buttons more than it should be.
I've never gotten you to button your shirt, and you can't ask kids to be Plastic Man or or like Booster Gold because that's just problems.
Yeah.
I honestly think Superman wouldn't work because I think if you tell a 4-year-old to be Superman, they focus too much on the powers, and
there's
then
there's nothing that keeps you on task less than thinking you're Superman.
No.
Thinking you can hear something across the room that maybe is going on over there, not over here. That Superman is the ADD of superheroes.
Yeah, he really is. You can't tell a kid that they're Superman. Yeah, Batman's really the way to go. Here's the problem. It gets very, very unhealthy when you get into teen years and adulthood and you're still kind of like idolizing and wanting to be Batman. Like that kind of,
I mean, it's guilty as charged, but
well, it's okay to like Batman. It's okay to be like, Batman's my favorite superhero. But like when people are genuinely like, you know, you meet those dudes and they're like, yeah, I just want to be Batman. And it's just like, what? Just like cold and mean and fucking weird and angry all the time, and you can't let go of shit. Like, there's a lot of layers as you get older, but when you're 4 years old,
it's simple.
It's simple.
The other thing that dawns on me too is that this does not work for Marvel heroes.
No, because they're all they got problems.
They all got issues, man.
They got problems and they got like personal stuff going on. And
imagining your Spider-Man just is the worst thing you can do for productivity.
The only time you want to imagine your Spider-Man is if you're caught under tons of rubble.
Yeah.
Then you just want to be like, I can do it. I can do it.
Right.
Spider-Man is great in a tough moment.
Spider-Man is great if you're dealing with depression already.
If you're already dealing with depression, or if you are like, if you feel like a normal, like an average person, but you're in a very, very tough moment that seems beyond you.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's a great one to think of.
But getting that coal for our village, Spider-Man's not going to help.
No.
Batman will help.
Spider-Man's too much with the talky.
Talk. Stay on task.
Quippy.
Got time to lean, got time to clean, Spider-Man.
Yeah. No, you want to be Batman.
Yeah.
But like Batman with the amnesia from that episode. Because he's still a hard worker.
Batman.
Homeless Batman. This is awesome.
Would you ever employ a role-playing situation like this to try to be more productive?
Sometimes.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, I pretend things. I pretend like, when you are mostly self-employed and you're doing personal projects a lot, you have to pretend there is a deadline.
Yeah.
And it has to be a real deadline to you.
Yeah.
You have to pretend there are office hours and they have to be real office hours to you, because if they're not, you're fucking slipping.
I think you made a great point about the costume thing. It's, you don't put on a cape, but you put on the feeling, the things that make you feel like you're going to work today. Yeah. Or, if you stay in your pajamas, you can't work as well as if you get dressed and get ready and, put on that costume.
In the morning, I make sure that like gym clothes are the only things within reach.
Yeah.
No other clothes.
Right.
Because then you put on gym clothes. And once you put on gym clothes, well, you're a guy who's going to the gym. You might as well go to the gym.
Yeah.
It's the same thing where like when I'm working from home out here in the office, like if I walk out here in sweatpants and an undershirt, it's a sweatpants and undershirt day. And that means shit's not getting done.
Yeah.
You gotta like just imagine and focus on, it's so simple, but it really does make a huge difference.
And it works for kids too. It works for kids and adults.
There's nothing more obnoxious to me than a bunch of kids pretending to be Batman. Because it just seems like they would be unfriendly, mean children.
Probably right.
But
they don't go into that, but I would be very curious if that had any effect of their just social behavior.
Yeah, that's not something they're looking at productivity.
They just want these kids to work.
Yeah, I want to see how these kids get along with each other. I want to see what happens when you have 20 kids in a room all thinking they're the best. 20
Batmans and no Robins is not a good situation for anybody.
No. That's, as a matter of fact, that is that's a crossover that's going on right now in DC Comics. Everybody buy Dark Knight's Metal. It's stupid. It's stupid as hell.
This episode brought to you by Dark Knight's Metal.
Dark Knight's Metal. It's stupid as hell. Would you employ techniques like this during the day? Do you employ visualization techniques during the day? Have you ever imagined yourself to be Batman? Are you in jail right now? Do you need bail? Let us know on Twitter. I'm at @Carboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
And you can hashtag those. Man, we can't use Batman.
Can't use Batman as our hashtag.
No, that's not going to work.
What about Booster Gold? Is that used?
No, unfortunately not. Let's use Booster Gold. What a fucking sad state the world's in when no one's using Booster Gold.